guys, got another one to show you. Did a custom dial build for my buddy Mike. Medicine wheel. So since we had so much color going on with his custom dial, we just did everything in a nice brushed case, brushed bezel. Because anything with color on it, unless you're getting all the colors or you're getting close, wasn't really going to flow as nicely. So just did a custom crown on there for him. Did a silver handset, and I tried to match. This is a second hand from a different group of hands, but I thought it looks really close to these hands, so I thought that'd be kind of cool to put that on there. So it's all kind of like matching. It's like a matching handset that wasn't a matching handset, originally. So did that on there. Nice thick ammo pouch style leather with off-white stitching. Super thick strap. Extra thick here at the top side. Did a branded logo on the other side. Little engraving there on the brushed buckle. So there's his build. Lower profile exhibition case back, so that it would be a little bit closer on the wrist. Stainless steel movement holder, black rotor in there. And that's your build, sir. So brushed case, so what that does for you, if you ever get like a nick in it or anything like that, just take the green side of Scotch-Brite and just brush it in. Just do it a couple 5, 6, 7 times in the same direction, and you will knock it down and basically blend it in is what it is. What that will do for you. So automatic mechanical, the bezel will turn, but there's not really anything to grab onto, so even if it turns left or right, it would never even really matter. But it can turn left, it can turn right. They're not clickable bezels. This is an automatic mechanical, so you can wear it, you can wind it, you can put it on a watch winder. I shifted the hands around, it ran perfectly all through the night, but to get a better picture, when I went to take a picture, it was like, 1050, and like the hands are like, what was it? I can't even think of what time it was. Whatever it was, the hands were stacked on top of themselves over there, around 1050 or 1150 or something like that. So, but before you put it on, go ahead and wind it, pre-wind it a little bit, especially if you're not going to be very active, or it's dead. So you'll back off the crown until you can hear it and feel it clicking. At that point, you can wind it. So a wind is this direction. This direction does nothing, but it's a lot easier to keep your fingers spaced and to go through it pretty quickly. Doing it this way and it doesn't hurt it. You can't overwind it, so you can do this all day. But if you do it for about 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on, even if you're not very active, you're not gonna lose time throughout the day. If you do it something closer to 20 seconds, you'll max out your 31-hour power reserve. But like I said, you can wind it all day, it won't hurt anything. Just won't add any more tension to the mainspring. It'll just it's basically just putting in dead input. So if you do something like that, you can make sure it's running perfectly the next day. So that's how I make sure, since I'm not wearing around your watch, make sure it's good. So if you pull it to the one and only click, you can now set your time. So it's not a hacking movement, so it's going to keep rolling. Okay, Google, what time is it?
11:23 a.m.
11:23 a.m. Should be slightly past that, right? Also, you've got a wobble crown. It will deflect lateral pressure on that movement. So when you're pushing on it, prying on it, it's deflecting it. And when you're setting the time, just kind of lightly pull on it. Because if you drop it back into this area here, you can't wind it. You have to reset the clutch to wind it. But you're not setting the time either. So just hold it back and manipulate from there. Also makes it nice and easy to push right back over and thread down. So Mike, there is your watch with your custom crown and your custom dial. Sorry it took so long to get that dial. It was a minute, that's for sure. So every build comes with matching beads. We didn't want to go ape and match all that stuff in there and then your band and everything, so we thought, what would go nicely? Some silver, some white, some black, and then you can use that with other watches as well. So it will come in a nice special edition, darker stained box. You'll have your laser etched personalized build and warranty cards in there. You will have watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal parts, so everything here in the center. It's non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue. You'll have some leather conditioner that will keep this nice and soft. This is a very thick leather, but should stay nice and soft. If it doesn't, apply it. Let it soak in a little bit, remove any excess, let it sit for a couple minutes, and it will go back to being nice and soft. Just gotta let it soak in. And then lastly, some fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon. And this is an acrylic glass, and if you scratch it, just put a tiny bit on there, just enough to fill that scratch, and go against the scratch, filling it, and generate some heat with your thumb behind an included microfiber, and it will go much quicker. You should buff it out in about 15 seconds and then remove any excess. But remember, whatever extra that you have on there is going to soak into the rag and get pushed around the dial. And so just use a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. You're just filling a very light surface scratch, right? So don't go ape with that stuff. This should last you this watch and the next watch and the next watch and the next watch. So I mean, there's plenty in there. And it will be like a mirror. It'll be like Pledge when you're done. It's going to be real super slick. So that's your watch, sir. Hopefully you love it. And I'll get it shipped out to you here soon. And if you want me to build you something custom unique, reach out. And I'll do what I can. And if you want to continue to see builds like this, like and subscribe as I put watches up all the time. Thanks.